That's a great way to start. While he's doing that, y'all, welcome to another episode of Top Five Live. As this man gives me my win, and I'm creeping back in it, creeping
I don't
back
like
in
it.
it.
I don't
That's
like it
all
at
right.
all.
That's okay.
I
That's
feel
all
like there's
right.
a
Listen, man, we all
conspiracy.
got to do things in life that we don't want to do, and
I feel like
you
there's
got
a
to do that.
conspiracy of some sort.
I ain't no conspiracy.
I feel like it is.
Danny finally popped in.
Um, so it's episode 99
Woo!
for the 99 and the 2000.
Hey man, calm down, man.
I
Relax.
didn't. I guess
Chucking stuff behind.
my voice got mad loud. I guess I don't know. What's good, Danny J? Quick down at the bottom. And y'all know Javon Stokes, big bro, up at the top. All right. So,
You can't hear us,
who can't hear us?
Danny. Can you hear us, Danny?
I think he's just being weird.
He can't. I don't think he can hear us. He just
No.
did. He pointed to his ear. All right, just keep talking.
He probably have to sign out and sign back in because it ain't us.
Say something.
uh,
He can't hear. He can't hear it.
Tell
You
him
gotta
something.
log out and log back in.
All right, so episode 99. This week, I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know that
Can I hear me?
Now we
Yeah, I
hear
hear
you. We hear you now.
Okay.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I just feel like tonight might be. I said I was gonna pop some popcorn, but I didn't buy any. But
Go and get your big glass of milk.
you're right. That's a great idea. That is a great idea.
Oh boy, she's in
Well,
the
there she
building.
go.
Let's
There
go.
go Queen Chauna.
What's up, yo?
She's
What's good?
ready.
What's
She got
good?
her hair
Get my
tied
gloves
up and
on.
everything. She came for whoa. No, I'm just
Ready to throw hands.
That's right. I'm extra gay today.
That's
Hello.
all right. That's all right. That's
Um,
good.
But yeah, so we're back. Episode 99. Got y'all. If y'all don't remember Shauna, she came on for HBCU Con. She is a freaking fire cosplayer. She be setting the internet ablaze with every time she does some type of modeling shoot or cosplaying something. She's a beast in these HBCU streets. She's a beast when it comes to justice and feminism and just standing up and punching people in the face when they need to be punched.
Trying to punch up. She punched
You know,
up.
yeah, punch up, not punch down. You know what I mean?
Uppercuts.
But
On a regular, every day I be waiting for Chowder's post. I be like, what she got to say? I got popcorn. I be like, who's she coming for today?
somebody about to get it today.
Somebody about to get it. I be like, man, I hope she'll come for me.
Long as it ain't me. But yes, Queen Shauna is back in the building for the discussion tonight. Say hello, Shauna, for those who don't remember you.
What's going on? I appreciate the very, very warm, very real introduction.
Absolutely.
I never know what to do like when that's happening because I'm not used to like the praise, you know. So I just like awkwardly take it in as best as I can.
Now you did the right thing. That
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Nah, you gotta get used to that now. You gotta get used to that. At least when you come on here. So
hey Danny, man, that shirt is fire.
I was looking.
yeah,
What's
Danny.
going
Danny,
on?
can you not hear us?
It's good to see
Can
y'all.
you hear
again.
us?
It's good to see you
Yeah.
too, Queen.
You
Um,
can hear us?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
yeah, we hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
So
We giving you
Blink
compliments.
twice
You
if
ain't
you
say
can
that.
hear us.
I can't hear Javon though.
you can't hear who?
Y'all
You
can't,
can't hear
Javon?
me?
Yeah, I can
No.
hear Javon.
I can hear Javon.
Everybody
I
can hear
can't.
me, man.
It must be me. I don't know what's
Good
going on.
That's definitely you.
William Withers. That's an interesting
Oh
name.
snap! Yeah, I didn't even
That's
set
I
up
ain't
the
even
chat
look
yet.
I ain't even look at the chat.
I tell you. What's good, William? All right,
He's
so
the second one.
let me get into the list. All right, so the list for tonight is the top 5 fake movie songs. It is him, BJ.
He's a BJ.
So let me get a context for this because I called Danny and Javon yesterday to make sure that they won't about to get on this show and try and play me.
Now
right?
we wait to hear your version of the explanation. Go on.
Yes. All right. So the explanation is that, or as I understood it, so fake movie songs means a song that was performed by a character or a band or a group in a movie that
Mhm.
is that did not exist before this movie, right? So
Mhm.
it might be in the
That's a
soundtrack
good one.
after the fact, right? But
Yeah.
but the song did not exist until they performed it in this movie, and performed it is important. So the reason I'm saying
Yes.
performed it is because it can't be. For example, I would have had "Be Prepared" from Lion King in mind because
Nope.
that's all-time great song for me.
Nope.
I love it, right?
Mhm.
I sing with Scar every time I hear that song. I know I shouldn't be rooting for the villain, but you know, the song's dope.
That's so on brand for you.
But shut up. But since he's not performing it, it doesn't count.
Right.
Um,
There's so many stipulations.
I don't
Well,
know.
it's not a
Some
musical. It's
I
not
don't
like a musical. It's like
Right, but
know-
some musicals have soundtracks that are the songs in the musical. So does that count? You
no,
know what I'm saying?
it can be on the soundtrack, but it's got to be performed. It's like The Whole Is Mine. Like they're performing that. You see
Okay.
the
What
difference,
is
like
that
the 5 Heartbeats. They were performing, or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like somebody actually has to perform it. It can't be like a musical where people break out in the song and everything like that.
I got whole I can't even specifically name songs. I could just name movies where like all the songs in the movie were fire. You know.
See, that's what I can think
It's
of
gonna be real
animated movies like
interesting.
that. I can think of animated movies like that, but I cannot think of a movie where, Dreamgirls is one of my favorite movies, and they were performing.
Okay, Dreamgirls. Idlewild is by far my favorite musical ever.
Okay,
Right, and if they're
Idlewild is
performing
because I don't
the
do
show,
musicals.
yeah, me
Yeah.
neither.
I don't.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I don't do them, but I don't seek them out. It has to be. Dreamgirls is absolutely one of my favorites. Like it's not even for the acting, for the singing, all of that.
Right,
But,
right, right.
I think there are. Well, we'll get into the list.
Can you hear me now, Danny?
What's good, sis?
Danny,
Hey.
I
I
don't
know,
know,
I'm
man.
digging your hair.
Okay, I'm gonna log out and log back in, Danny. How about
No,
that?
I can't hear you, Javon. I
He
can
said
see your
he's
mouth
gonna log
moving, but I
out and
can't
log
hear
back
you.
in.
Why? Just refresh it, Javon. All right. So while Javon, I don't know what's going on there.
Oh,
You can hear me and Chauna though, right?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. I just couldn't hear him, but y'all could hear him. I couldn't.
It's weird.
Mm.
We'll
That's
see.
weird.
We'll see when he logs back in if that fixes it.
I'm sure it was my computer.
So those are stipulations for the list. Wait, let me repeat it for my sister Tiana because I know she about to be like out of left field with something.
Yeah, you gonna put a list?
Sis,
Let's see.
if you do a list, okay, listen, because I know you about to try something. I know you about to try and float something. It has to be a
We'll
song.
see. What's up?
It
All right,
has to
can you
be
hear
a
me now?
song. Can you hear us, Javon?
Yo,
Can
you hear me now?
my sound went out again. Can you hear me?
Yes.
we can hear you.
Bro, I
Corey,
can't hear
need
y'all,
something
bro.
to the computer. No,
I don't
Javon
know.
jumped back in.
Javon
He
came back
can't
in,
hear
all my
nobody
sound
else.
went out. I can't hear nothing.
That's
I'm
weird.
gonna restart the computer and come back in. Give me about 3
Yeah.
minutes. I'll be back.
Wait, let me
Okay.
tell Tiana before you log off. Sis, whatever songs you put on your list have to be performed in the movie
By an artist,
by an artist.
like
Okay,
somebody
I
has to be
hear.
performing it, not a musical, not
Big movie song. So,
Man,
like,
but in the musical, they're some of them are performing,
Yes.
and then some of
That's
them
what BJ
are
just said.
singing through
yes,
the
yes.
movie. you
There's
know.
a difference. Yeah,
Right.
there's a difference. Yeah.
Right.
All right, so that's the stipulation. So that when we get to the list, that's the stipulation. That's what we're rolling with. And I called to make sure I confirm that. Okay. So because I saw people putting in lists when I put the poster up, but some of the songs at first I would have accepted them, but I can't because they being
I got 2 on my
they
list
being
that
niggerish.
I already know is gonna be.
See, I already know. I know Danny gonna have that Mulan song on there. He gonna have "Be a Man" on there. I'm sure of it.
Oh, true.
Is
I'm
that
sure he
performed?
is. I don't know.
Be a Man is a music. That's a music. Isn't Mulan a musical?
Yeah, I see. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, bro. I just
So
know
I
he's gonna try
got
to play
clips
something.
of mine just so y'all can know I'm on the up and up. I'm ready.
I mean, I could pull up clips of mine.
Yeah.
For one of mine, I'm definitely pulling up the clip. But
Yes, they original.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, they're
Got to
original
be an
songs,
original
William.
song.
they gotta be a so okay. Perfect example. I Will Always Love You should be number one on every list if it was that type of list. If that was not stipulated out, then if that wasn't number one, then I'd have to think you were like on some drugs or something. But it can't go because
Yep.
So yes, Goofy movie would count because he
That's
was
a
actually
yep.
performing.
That count perfect.
Yes.
That's
That's
high.
great.
Yep.
Yes.
If you
All right.
look into
Yeah.
it,
Goofy movie will count.
That's a perfect example.
There's a really dope song that I heard the other day, but I have not watched the whole movie. So I'm not
They ain't
gonna
never
put it on my
stopped you
list.
before.
Shut up! Don't do that. That's false. That's false. False advertisement.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, one of mine is the whitest pick ever.
I mean, now I want to hear this.
Okay.
It's the
All right.
whitest pick ever, and I love the movie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The Hoe is Mine, bro. That is hilarious.
Ooh, I just thought of
movie
one.
What is that? I've never even heard
That's
that.
Brown Sugar. The whole is mine.
Bro.
She's not yours, she's mine. You don't remember that part?
No.
The Dalmatians, the rapping Dalmatians.
No,
I don't.
I do not remember that at all.
Oh man, I'm
That's
revoking
hilarious,
y'all black.
bro.
I'm revoking y'all black card, man.
I ain't seen
I my
seen
black
that
card on
movie.
that.
I got one. That I
I'm like
don't know
52 or something. He be,
I'm revoking y'all black
don't
I
card.
don't know
say
how old
it.
somebody is. He be bringing up old stuff all the time.
That's a great movie.
Javon,
how old are you?
I'm I'll be 42 in a couple weeks.
You know, we got about a couple years.
I ain't never heard that one before.
You say it was on Brown Sugar?
Yes. Remember the group? It was the group they tried to make.
Morgan
Tay Diggs-
Page?
Hold on.
Tay
It
Diggs
was
and them
yes. It's the
No,
group
I
that they
remember the
tried to
movie.
make Tay Diggs manage.
a part of. Okay, and
Yeah.
when they tried to make them go commercial.
Right. They were the rapping Dalmatians. It was a white dude and a black dude. And they
Terrible.
dressed up like Dalmatians.
It's been way too
I
long.
ain't seen that in a minute. I ain't seen that man. I ain't seen that movie in a minute.
Ran in 10. Yep. BJ right there. BJ's right there, man.
Appreciate you,
BJ.
BJ, with the
BJ's an
background
artist
knowledge.
himself, or not an artist, but a record label producer himself. So he
Hey,
knows
Danny Dale said congrats on the sales on TikTok, sir.
Appreciate it, Dale. Thank you.
Danny
She gets
kicking
all the
down
credit.
doors.
And is kicking down doors.
God get the credit. That's right. God gets the credit.
All right. So let me all right.
So we go. Are we diving in?
Yeah.
Go ahead, let's do it.
You think, wow.
All right. So the Keke Palmer thing we were supposed to talk about last week, we couldn't because we had to push the show. I think all of us had some personal issues going on, but definitely I wanted to get into it last week. But it's still just as fresh now because people still been talking. So, but in the same week, this thing with Jonah Hill popped off too, and I was like, bruh, we gotta talk about that too. Like they gotta be. I gotta talk about both only because to me it's connected.
Yes,
it's connected. It's different, but it's still like some.
Well, you have essentially like the racial divide is pretty much like but then there's the misogyny within.
I would agree with that. I think that's what the link is. The link is in how Jonah's text was seen, and then how old buddy goes online about Keke, right? That's a common thread. The conversation, I don't even know where we're gonna end up. I just read it. I don't know where we're gonna end up. I'm just ready. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was a holiday. That's right. Appreciate you, Jess.
Yeah, that's a holiday.
I just remember we had something. I remember something. I couldn't remember what it was. All right. So which one do y'all want to get into first? I did pull up the E! News clip that I sent you, Chauna. You know what I'm saying? Like the background on Jonah.
Man.
For those who might not know about the Jonah Hill thing. But that way I can play it so we all have context. Or if y'all want to
the
get
Usher thing is a great barometer for like age, in my opinion. Because like a lot of people, are like, man, he hitting on people's girls. And I'm like, y'all clearly ain't been to like an R&B concert in the 90s or the early 2000s. Because that was standard procedure.
Let's go ahead and start with Usher then. Let's go ahead and start with Usher. All right.
I'm just saying, Drew Hill was out there grinding on people's ladies on a regular.
True. It was like freaking
reckless,
but with R&B.
Shoot,
I've only been to gospel concerts, so I don't know exactly what y'all are talking about.
I saw Kurt Franklin grinding the air.
On your mama and on your hood, you've only been to gospel concerts.
You ain't never been to a Lecrae concert?
I hate Danny.
Lecrae is gospel?
Is he
Who?
though? Lecrae,
That's what
I
you
told
gotta
you.
say.
I told you I
Like,
don't do gospel rap. Yeah, I don't do
Lecrae
gospel rap.
specifically says he's not, or he doesn't want to be. He does not want to be categorized as
I don't do gospel
a
rap.
gospel rapper. What are you laughing at?
Oh my gosh!
Never
You
mind.
I'm
over
not
here
tripping.
going
I thought Lecrae was an R&B, so I don't know. Maybe I
You
don't
said
know
that?
Lecrae enough.
Look. All right.
Y'all
So
both over there lying about not only going to gospel concerts. Y'all just lying. I'm waiting for.
I'm
I'm looking for the
gonna let it-
lightning.
I was gonna let
I'm
it
looking
ride.
for the lightning.
We went and saw Dear Silas.
Who?
We went and saw Dear Silas, and we went to the Whitney Houston experience, but it was a hologram.
What you about to say?
I was gonna say she was dead, but it was a hologram.
Really?
I'm glad you did not say that.
But he did though.
That would've been-
But he did though. You still said
I
it.
was going to.
I mean, you did say it after the fact. It's still kind of bad.
I mean,
take
she had
you.
passed. She had gone
You
to.
can't,
She
can't
passed
be
away.
acting like that on
She's
me.
deceased.
I can't stand the quicks right now. Right now.
All right.
I can't take y'all.
So first, all right. So let's start first here. Okay, with Keke Palmer, I imagine where we all will agree. I imagine, and that's the interesting part. Was he wrong for posting his thoughts on social media?
I mean, you want to start with the fact that he was wrong for that specifically?
I think I want to see.
question.
I feel like that's probably the place that might have some overlapping agreement. That's why
Y'all know I can't hide my face.
Yeah, hey,
I can't hide my face.
you go first. You go first. Was he
No,
wrong for posting online?
Well, I wouldn't have done it, but we've seen. So I think this is a gender divide thing a little bit, because I feel like if the roles were switched and it was a guy up there with Maya or Janet Jackson, like if Janet Jackson, you know how Janet Jackson be like putting people up,
Oh yeah,
and then be grinding the hell out of them.
I've had
If
dreams.
it was flipped,
I don't know if that's necessarily true, because even when it comes to like bachelor parties, like y'all be having strippers at bachelor parties.
yeah,
So
but
what do you
it
mean?
ain't
Like, that's
generally
kind of like customary. Like it's standard that when a guy has a bachelor party, there's usually a stripper involved. Now with the bachelorette side, there may or may not be a stripper involved, but
yeah, but that's not usually
not
like
as
publicized.
common.
Like not many people publicize they like bachelor party.
True, but you know
it's
what I'm saying?
usually
Not
like a
everybody's
private
bachelor
thing.
party is like a Megan Thee Stallion concert or a Usher. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
That
a
would be
celebrity.
phenomenal.
Right,
Like,
but I'm
if you had,
saying like if I'm just saying if it was the other way around, because the only reason I say this is because the Chance the Rapper incident happened was a couple months ago where they showed him grinding up on that girl, and everybody was like, he got a wife at home and and other folks who go to Carnival are like, yo, that's Carnival, like it is what it is. But there was a lot of smoke that came his way.
Yeah, I
And
think that
I'm
was
like,
more of a cultural divide. Like if you don't know Carnival, then you know what I mean?
Exactly though. So I'm like, okay, I personally wouldn't publicize like that about my wife. Like I honestly,
that's not his wife.
It's
though.
Usher though.
That's the thing.
Huh?
He said that's his wife, but it's not his wife.
But you know what I mean? My significant other. I don't think, honestly,
Right,
I know
but I
Danny
think
and I talked about this, but I don't think it matters that she's not his wife. If they are in a relationship together, if they're in a relationship, it's a relationship.
I definitely think it matters. Otherwise, marriage wouldn't matter. You know what I mean?
Well, then relationships wouldn't matter. Like if there's no weight there, then okay, cool. Then cheating doesn't really matter. Like then you can go sleep with somebody. You could be somebody in a relationship with somebody not married, and then you cheat on them. But hey, y'all not married, so it don't really matter.
I've actually heard that argument made. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna say, well, they're not married, so it doesn't matter, because that holds.
My whole thing
weight.
is this: like, what's the difference between what Keke Palmer wore that night versus like what she would wear on any other given like occasion?
I don't care.
Before or after she was a mom, while she was dating this dude, and there's video of him filming her like twerking around in her drawers, like while she was pregnant.
He told her to do it. Actually,
honestly,
he told her to do it in the video.
He's not a smart guy though. Like, in my opinion, he's not a smart guy. If
I
he
mean,
can't realize
that's a
it.
whole nother conversation. But
Right.
you know,
That's,
my whole
I'm
thing
just talking about
about
the
it
incident.
my whole thing about it is like if you're a certain type of person and you're a modest person and you want to be with somebody who is a modest person, right? Then why not date somebody who, like, Keke ain't never been like, she's always been pretty open about who she is and always been very expressive, very kind of free spirited, if you will. That's the terminology a lot of people like to use. And it was like perfectly cool with her to be that way in his eyes up until that moment. And when I watched the video, like, I really didn't see her doing anything that like warranted him to like say something, like, especially on Twitter. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's the mother of your child. And then got dudes commenting, ragging on her while he's like steady liking their comments. You know what I mean? Like, you're not defending her or anything. You just gonna let y'all just going on the mother of your child like publicly. It's just okay. So I guess relationships don't matter. In that case.
That was my issue. My issue with what he did was that he was attacking her online. If he's supposed to be her boyfriend, husband, whatever, and he's attacking her online, that's the issue that I had with it. Because then he's inviting people to also do that. And that's not something I can rock with. Now, again, to me, I think it does matter that he's a boyfriend and not a husband, and that he was not there to, if he had a problem with it, why wasn't he there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it looked like a girls' night though. Why would he be there?
Why wouldn't he be? I mean, if I'm going to see Usher concert, my wife coming with me.
If your wife you don't have girls' nights? Would just you and your female friends go out and have a good time?
Night? No. Lunch? Maybe.
Man, y'all quicks be making me so mad, yo.
I mean,
y'all the outliers on so much stuff.
No, I'm saying Tiana went to Miami with her sister, right?
Right.
Now, she posted pictures of herself on the beach. Now, if I'm home, and she was looking good though. I posted a picture saying, "Y'all look at my wife. She's doing her thing."
Right.
Because I'm supporting her. I'm showing that I support her, and I want her to go out and have fun. So if I get online and I say, what did he say? You a mother. You put some.
You a mom.
Yeah, we all agree he's lame. Like, we all agree this. Like, we all agree that he's lame, though, right?
That's what I want to see first.
That he's lame.
So far, wait. So far, everybody seems like we're on the same page that he was wilding for putting it online. Sis, you agree or no?
Yeah, I think that was absolutely insult to injury in that instance.
Tiana?
I agree.
Okay.
All right. Why? Talking about a Miami trip. Like, why you think
we're all on the same page about that. So he was wrong for putting it online. Was Keke wrong for what she had on?
No.
It depends on what their relationship is, like what they've agreed on. Like, again, like Chauna made the point that, if you a modest person, and you get with somebody who's not necessarily modest, like, either y'all have an understanding that she's cool with dressing like that, or somebody got to come towards the other. If you understand what I'm saying, like, either you got to be more modest or you got to be less modest, one or the other. But I don't know what their relationship is. Like, I don't know what kind of agreements and standards and boundaries that they've made within the relationship and for each other. So I don't personally have a problem with it, but I mean, I can't see, I can't see my wife wearing something like that. And even if she did, I don't care. My wife, fine. What you want?
Like, I feel like worst case scenario, like the worst thing you could do in that situation, is leave. Like, if you don't want to be seen with somebody who dresses like that, then you don't have to be seen with somebody who dresses like that.
I agree.
So, and I feel like you tread on very dangerous territory when you start to let a relationship dictate your self-expression, like your individuality. You know what I'm saying? And when you're in a relationship with somebody, now I'm saying, I'm saying, like I said, I ain't never been married. I've been in relationships. I've been in long-term relationships. But in my eyes, in my mind, and how I was raised, relationships are partnerships. You know what I'm saying? There's no ownership in it. The only ownership that you're taking is like the ownership of your responsibility in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't own that person. And what does that look like when you're going about your day? So like Danny said, he he watches his wife go off and have a good time in a bikini or whatever the fuck she wants to wear. And you have that trust established in your relationship that she's not going to do anything to disrespect you, regardless of how she looks when she goes outside. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask the Quicks a question? Y'all ever veto something that you see the other one wearing?
Veto? No.
But
I done told Tiana that if we was going to church, I might have said something. I might have said, "Hey, that's a little too tight." But I ain't going. She's not going to not wear it if she want to wear it though. Like I might
Tiana,
be like, "Hey,
have you ever seen Danny wearing something and go, yeah, I don't want you wearing that"?
Yeah, I make him throw stuff away.
Yeah,
right. Again,
but see, that's different. It's like,
how is that different?
Because if somebody wearing something that has like holes in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or
but if they like it though,
I would keep a shirt.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like no, I'm not talking about old stuff. I'm not talking about old raggedy stuff.
No,
BJ.
Or do you think it's trifling, or if it don't look?
This is the one time that I agree with Devon. No, it's not because of the holes.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Because I know how females are, and I don't play that. See,
oh, you said it was gray sweatpants.
The gray sweatpants, because I know how females are. Y'all already know the whole saying: "Sundress season, gray sweatpants, whatever."
That is true. I had this one pair.
You don't need to talk about it.
I'm about to say, don't you speak against sundress season? I will.
No. As a matter of fact,
I came home like
sweatpants.
I came home, I was like, where my sweatpants at?
Trash.
Huh? What sweatpants?
So I asked that question. And they're kind of proving my point, because the whole thing about like you don't tell people what to wear. You might not tell somebody what to wear, but you might suggest heavily.
But we're
I don't want you to wear that.
I'm not going to put her
and
out
I think
online
women
about
do
it
it more than men.
He's got a whole baby. He's got a whole baby with this girl, an entire child, and he's not married to her. I don't think he has the right to tell her what she can and can't.
Again, y'all can't say this if you did this. Did you do that before you were dating? You never said, "I don't like you wearing that" when y'all were just dating.
Things change when you.
No. That ain't the question I asked you. I asked Tiana.
And I'm giving you an answer. Things change when you have a child together, though.
Okay, cool. But when y'all were dating, did you ever go, "Yeah, I don't want you to wear that"?
No.
But still, things change when you are married.
Yes, things change, but a relationship is a relationship, though.
Yes,
now,
and relationships
a marriage, a marriage holds more weight than a relationship. No, but I'm just saying, like, if again, I understand that a marriage, again, follow me. I understand a marriage holds more weight than just like wearing a monogamous relationship, a unmarried relationship. I understand that. But I'm saying that relationship still holds some weight. Otherwise, then it's just, then we can just do whatever we want to do, and then nobody should be upset.
True. I think that, to their point, there's no like one wrong or right way to do it. You just have to find somebody who you're compatible with.
I agree with that. That was my point, though.
To that point, like in Keke's defense, I don't think that Keke has really, like, I don't think that what she wore was out of character for her.
No,
I really don't.
It wasn't.
If you follow her and you know who she is, like, it's not out of character for her. And I think if her boyfriend paid her half a mind of attention, that he probably would know that. Also, he's a personal trainer, so he's probably wearing gray sweatpants a lot.
I mean, that dude posted a picture of himself and they're not like, that wasn't. I mean,
it's just like
he's lame.
So many things wrong with it.
He's lame though. He's lame for that.
Yeah.
Again, he's also, you're dating a celebrity, like
that too.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different set of rules.
Highly. I agree with that too. They're highly like I said that because me and my boys have had this conversation about like dating constitutes different things for different people.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've always explained it. For me, dating is just it's a trial period. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a me getting to know you period. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting to know you. That's why we're going out on dates. We're going on the dates for me to get to know you better. So if I like you to that degree, then it would step to be something else like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? I think I only want to see what things are like with you one-on-one. And then I'll be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to, you know what I'm saying, will you be my girlfriend or whatever? You say yes or no. And that's the trial period for fiance and marriage. You know what I'm saying? But before that, I'm just dating you to get to know you. I can't hold you down exclusively. I can't say, you know what I'm saying, you can't date nobody else. I can't date nobody else. I don't have the right to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm going to do that, then I need to ask you to be my girlfriend or boyfriend. You got to say yes or no. You know what I'm saying? But until then, we're just dating, and you had the right to date whoever you want to, and I had the right to date whoever I want to. In this situation with Keke, I think one of the things and one of the places that he messed up is the fact that, one, his biggest mistake is putting it online. He could have had all these issues and been fine, and nobody would have ever known. But you put it on Twitter, and then you tried to sun her publicly in front of people. Like saying the most whack part of that entire thing was saying it was putting the part in there about her being a mother. That was completely irrelevant. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like she's a mother, so what? She's supposed to like now be wearing frumpy clothes at all times now? Like,
well, that's been a common, like historically speaking, that's a common theme that like has been played on women who are moms, whereas dads more often than not get to be the fun parent. You know what I mean? They might be the disciplinarian, but the mom is usually the one who's considered the nurturer, the one who cleans, the one who cooks. Not saying that's how it goes down. When I was growing up, my dad would cook all the time. Both my parents would cook. So, but like, from that standpoint, the agenda that was constantly pushed is the woman does this, the man does that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're right, traditional gender roles. Yeah, so that plays a part in it too.
I'm not. We've talked about that before. I'm not a huge fan of gender roles. I understand them and I understand why they work, and I think most of society still falls into that mentality. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it unless it's being used to control somebody or judge them.
And that's kind of the thing here. Like that was kind of my thing at the root of all the hubbub about it, from him saying from his logic behind it to posting it online and publicizing it. It just seemed like it was all about trying to control the situation because he felt embarrassed about it. He felt embarrassed by it.
Yeah, you was hurt because
I don't get. I'm telling you,
because it's Arthur, bro.
No, man. Again, this is an age thing. This is an age gap thing. Because again, you're talking about. I'm telling you, I've seen concerts with Drew Hill and Jodeci, and they just be grinding on people, and everybody's like, "Hey, man, it's part of the concert," and then everybody move on. Like this, like it's just crazy to me, man. I think when I saw the video, I was like, man, I've seen. Again, we saw Janet Jackson literally dry hump a man to tears.
He did.
Awesome. Like that man was crying.
He handpicked him. He was so I thought he was going to have a heart attack. I really did.
He probably did have a heart attack.
She was like tying him up and stuff. I remember that.
I thought he was gonna have I thought he was gonna lose.
I almost had one for him.
Hey, listen, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's very few men that weren't jealous.
That was a good time, buddy. You hear me? Or Terrence Howard when he was on stage at was it the BET Awards?
Yeah, that was the BET Awards. Yep.
Man, Terrence Howard almost fainted because.
Oh yeah, when Beyonce. Well, that was all of them. All three of Destiny's Child, they grabbed,
Yeah, they got
anything people were talking about, because I think somebody grabbed Magic Johnson and they were making a whole thing about that. So, because he's married and his wife was sitting right there watching it happen. So,
yeah, and I think the biggest reason that the Keke Palmer thing was an issue is because he took it online. It'll be a quiet ride.
Hey, listen, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't know if my wife would have been happy with that either.
I think I
wouldn't have got up there. Though.
I think it's funny that
she was dating Jay-Z at the time. So.
Oh, I think he's talking about the Janet one.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought he was talking about the
Yeah,
Beyonce.
Hey, Tiana, you ain't gonna let him get up with Janet. Man, come on now. This is Janet Jackson.
Hey, listen.
That's Miss Jackson. Come
That
on
man
now.
need to keep his life. Stop putting the man in the
Listen,
position.
man. I'm gonna need Tiana to lighten up.
Do not put him in that
Chill,
position.
boy,
Hey.
Daddy.
Kamala Man ain't grinding on nobody in no concerts.
You don't know she might. You don't know
Hey.
that. You don't know that.
Kirk Franklin and the family ain't doing nothing like that.
Kirk Franklin was grinding the crap out of the air the other day. Now I just saw that.
Kirk Franklin might.
I'm just telling you, bro. He was body rolling across the stage. Now I've seen it.
He's showing up beat. Yeah.
I'm just telling you,
Tiana, I'm gonna need you to let him have some fun, okay? We gonna take him. We gonna take him to a Janet Jackson concert. All right, we gonna put him right front and center. Come on, Danny. We gonna put you right up front. Come on,
no,
hey,
no.
I might want to
allow
be
that.
president someday. I can't do it.
He's not gonna make it. I ain't doing that.
Listen, Danny will be president.
To me, the tie-in. All right. So to me, the tie-in between the Keke Palmer situation and the Jonah Hill situation is.
I think that one's more interesting.
The Jonah Hill one is definitely more interesting, especially because we don't know all of the information in either side, right? But I think
apparently we know all the information on Darius' side because he was running his mouth.
You're right. You're right. We know too much of what
we don't know anything on Keke's
Hey,
side.
Just, I would be real with you. If I went to Idris Elba, he be performing. If you put my wife up there, I know how my wife feels about Idris. Hey, you just gotta let it happen.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. In every relationship I've ever been in,
Idris married. What you gonna do? Why am I be mad?
In every relationship I've ever been in, I know who my girl or my wife's person is. Like I know.
Now Maya called me up.
It's a dub. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do? Like this got to be an IOU.
I'll take an Uber home.
It's got to be an IOU situation, yo. It's got to. Like we both. Hey, listen.
I'll take an Uber right home. I'll be like, it's all right, baby. It's okay. It's all right.
I know what time. I knew what time it was with my S's. Like I don't know too many. You know what I mean? But of course, you would like for them not to wild out too much. And I mean, I
don't think Keke wild out though. Like
she did not wild out at all.
That was that was the tamest thing ever.
Not thirsty to me.
Yeah.
She like two-step with him for like 2 seconds and did a spin.
She was proud that she was a mother and she still looks good. You know, she still look good because we know the stigmatism that comes with women when they become mother, whatever, and it only added to Keke.
Usher ain't even look her in the eye at no point. Did Usher look her?
You know what time it is? Usher like,
Usher was looking up and away. He looked at her one time when he's saying, "Ooh, girl, looks at you," and that was it.
Yeah.
They got that moment captured though.
Oh yeah, it ain't going nowhere. It's in the memory file, as it should be.
The Jonah Hill thing that I thought was interesting because it was like, I feel like it's almost a double standard because this woman publicized all of these private conversations between the two of them that really aren't our business. If I'm keeping it a buck.
But they're not together no more. So what really?
Even still, that's none of our business though. If you are not together, y'all realize it didn't work. You realize that the things that he wanted, you didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of publicizing it? He wasn't. I understand a lot of things he was saying was really toxic, but he wasn't. From my understanding, he wasn't beating her. He wasn't cheating on her. He wasn't like putting hands on her or anything like that. He was just clearly like a really controlling dude. And there are a lot of controlling dudes.
Being a woman should necessarily be the bar.
What I'm saying is that like being a jerk is, there are a lot of jerks in the world. You don't necessarily need to publicize everybody's business. Like that'd be like if a woman, that'd be like if Morgan were to start putting all the negative text messages from his wife out there just because they didn't work. I'm not saying he would do it, but I'm just saying like it doesn't, like there's no point outside of I want to hurt him or I want to hurt his career. And that's why, like, listen, I read what Jonah Hill said in the text message, but it don't make no matter to me. Like y'all didn't work.
I don't know. I think there's a fine line with that. Because like on one end, you, like you said, like it's a relationship, whatever happened between y'all, if it didn't work out, it's private. It's no need to like drag people over y'all just not being compatible. Or woody woo. At the same time, I think that when they're situated, now I'm not saying whether or not she should or should not have done it, but I do think that there are situations where there are people who can be manipulative or have a pattern of just like straight up abusing people, whether it's physical or not. Then you might feel like you have some obligation to come forward, especially if that person is going out of their way to try to spin it. And that happens a lot of times too, where people will try to turn around and make you seem like you're the bad guy, and will like lie on you, slander you, this, that, and the third, and try to ruin your reputation because it's their like way. They're trying to beat you to it, right? They're afraid of you coming out and you telling the truth about what really happened. So then they turn around and they're like, oh, well, did you know that, CC the Geek, blah, 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 blah. And I've personally had that happen to me. So, and I know people who also have had it happen to them. So I do think that there's a fine line with that aspect of it. But to your
point, I didn't know who the heck this woman was. I didn't know who she was until this happened.
I think to me,
whoever the surfer girl is, I had no clue who she was. Like,
my whole thing is he was like ragging on her not wanting to wear a swimsuit and all that. Like, she's a surfer. She was wearing swimsuits all the time when you met her. Like, why is it a problem now? You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. It's like these dudes will get with women and try to totally change the fabric of like who they are. And it's like, why are you dating them when there's plenty of women out here who fit the description of what you want? But you're not, because it's like a power trip that these type of people get when they take somebody who is one way and they break them down. It's like, it's like a control thing. So I don't know, but that's what it was giving based on the information that Morgan showed me. It was very much given like, I love you now, change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. In that, I'm trying to pull up the. I know how this crap go, and y'all must ain't about to start.
Hold on, Danny. What were you going to say
about my internet?
Danny, what were you going to say? You put your hand up.
Oh, I was just going to say so to me, of course, don't be posting. I mean, from what I saw, it was 2 years ago or something like that the texts were from, and then. Also, to me, the last thing that he said stuck with me when he was like, based on our history, these things have hurt me in the past. So if we're going to continue, it seemed like he was saying, yo, if we don't got to be together, if these things are what you're going to need to be doing, cool, I'll support you. But based on our history, these things got to stop. And of course, like I said, there's some stuff in there that's, of course, like I said, she was already a surfer. Why are you serious? You're gonna be trying to change people the way they are, but like you said, there's no hard feelings. Those are his boundaries. I don't think that's what boundaries are, but that's what he was trying to. That's what it seemed like he was trying to communicate. I believe they're not together anymore. So
no,
what's the point in talking about it now?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I don't know. I don't know what may have triggered her to bring it up or what.
I don't know what happened. They cut me out again.
Well, that's why. So I put the text up to give context to that, because the last part of it, and that's why I said, to me, the conversations that can be had off of the back of these situations is the meat of things, because we don't know all the inner details of the rest of it. So in this situation, like what Danny just said, the end of that text was an interesting part to me too, because if he's saying it from a perspective of, hey, if you need to do these things, it's cool. Like when I met you, you were doing these things or whatever, but based on the relationship that we've had, you know what I mean? The trust was broken there. So so I understand if you still need to do that, it just means I can't be the person for you. Right.
Like the thing that gets me is like he put to model, like like that's so subjective. And I don't know if you can scroll up, but it was something else he said. Oh, surfing with men. Sir, yeah. The surfing industry is 99.9% men. Like, how is she supposed to learn any new techniques, or you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're in those type of fields, like even with me, you know, in the con space, like interacting and engaging with other people who are in the business is essential to my survival as a business person. So like, how you expect her to just isolate herself and just surf, you know, off into the abyss by alone, you know, because that's safe. You know what I'm saying?
Can I play devil's advocate here?
Oh God.
No, I'm just saying, like, again, I think we can all agree that the boundaries that he's posted aren't like healthy. Like we can all agree, right? Like these aren't like healthy.
I wouldn't even call them boundaries, because boundaries is saying like I can't date, like I don't know, because
again, there are healthy boundaries and there are unhealthy boundaries, and there are toxic boundaries. They're just, you know, they're different boundaries. You know, he's clearly a controlling dude, but it'd be like if you met a guy, right? Let's say you met a guy at a con, and then y'all start vibing, and then he kind of goes, "Look, I don't really like you doing blah blah blah." Basically, all the things you were doing beforehand, and he's like, "If you don't want to do this, okay, cool. We don't have to be together." And then the onus is on you to be like, "Do I want to do this or not?"
Right,
Like,
that's the boundary, you know what I'm saying? But
you can be upset, but can you be upset? He said what he wanted. If you don't want to do it, then y'all part ways and keep it moving.
I'd just be very interested in how long they dated, because my whole thing is like, dude, you definitely, like, you ain't even bite off more than you can chew. You just literally went for a woman who you either apparently have nothing in common with, or you just simply cannot reconcile your insecurities. And he's gone on record saying that he has trouble. He's very insecure.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So that's already out into the universe. But at any rate, like, I don't know. It's just like my whole thing is like, why date her in the first place if she clearly not your type, you know?
I think it's just not my business. None of what's going on is my business, and she didn't have to share it. And I feel like this was I'm going to hurt you thing. Like, again, I can't speak for her reasons, but
she gave the reason she did it.
I didn't hear it. What were they?
What were they?
The reason she said she did it is because she was saying that he's like, though he did, like, he pretty much he was mentally manipulative or controlling. I'm paraphrasing it. I can pull up her exact statement, because she did put it up before she showed the text messages, because it was a string of stuff. Like, she said what she needed.
That's just the stuff that stuck out and made the headline.
Yeah. So it was a string of stuff, and she started with, you know, I think it had been like a year and a half, 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And then she decided she was gonna post these things.
And he was controlling when she started dating her. How would she know that?
Again,
did he tell her that? Did he say that I'm controlling?
Again, well, I'm here for it. All this stuff is bad, but again, it ain't none of our business. There are jerks out there every day.
Well, we've already established, you
know, like, it's just
so I'm not gonna say she shouldn't have posted it.
It feels intrusive to me. It feels intrusive to me.
The only reason I'm not gonna say she shouldn't have posted it is because if he was indeed
Kenny, what's up, man?
If he was indeed abusive or like emotionally controlling or something like that behind the scenes, then she could be posting it as a way for her to kind of take her power back and share her story with other people. Similar to a good example is Russell. I don't know if y'all saw when Russell Simmons and his daughter were going back and forth.
Yeah.
He started posting live, right? When that happened, the reason she said she was doing it, is because he had been controlling her for a while. He had been unraveling for a while or whatever, and she had been keeping it in house. She hadn't been saying anything or whatever, and she was tired of it, which is why she was posting it, because she needed to be able to not take her power back, but for everybody to have her side of the story too. And to me, that's
But
what I'm
even
saying.
that, like,
I'm
I
not
didn't
gonna-
even know. Like, again,
But
to
see,
me,
that's
they're publicizing things that are private. Like, to
Not
me, it's
necessarily.
indicative of the culture that we live in, and that
But
we
part
feel
of it
like
is-
everything
but-
needs to be
I
publicized.
would, I think that the culture that we are used to and the culture that we have become accustomed to and indoctrinated in is being challenged. Because
We
essentially,
hear you,
like
man.
when stuff like this happens,
We
you
hear
have
you.
like it becomes like a family
You
secret
can hear me?
because everything
Yeah.
becomes faux pas when it comes to like family business. To the point, I mean, and to be fair,
I
like
quit.
she do try to keep stuff in house. Like you should try to keep minuscule things in house and stuff. But unfortunately, the way a lot of these like baby boomers and folks in that generation, they get around by like trying to control the narrative about you within the family. So they're
That's
not
a fact.
blasting you on social media, but
I
they
get
are
that.
talking about you behind their back to your aunties and your cousin and
That's
your
a full
father
fact.
and your stepmother or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, and trying to control the narrative that way. So now with our generation, we just have social media. That is literally the only difference. You know,
No,
like
I know that.
because we're used to having social media as a tool where they are not. And plus, on top of that, like one thing about folks in that generation too is they're very, very protective of their image. Very, very protective of their image. And that is like why we have even like when you talk about like issues like domestic violence or sexual abuse, like you have generations of people who have been swept under the rug. Like they will send the victim to whole other states, dog.
But
Send
that's a different. But
clear
that's
cost-
different to me, though.
What's good, Daniel?
That's a different lane. Like to me, there's
Oh.
two lanes here. There's, illegal stuff, like
But I don't
illegal
think
stuff, and then
necessarily that.
it's like, okay, think like people are being jerks, and like people are having like toxic behavior.
I mean, true. I think that legality like does beef things up a bit, but I think that we also run into like issues when we let legality dictate our morality. You know what I mean? Like,
No. I'm not saying that the things are bad. I'm saying that when it comes to like publicizing stuff, like
Mhm.
throwing like again, to me, this is indicative of the generation that we live in because everything is thrown on the internet, like everything, like to the minuscule,
Right.
personal information is thrown on the internet. And I'm saying that I agree with you that people are like very protective of their image. So like a Russell Simmons, like you have celebrities, and I think a lot of people feel that the only way that they can impact this person is to take a hit at their image. And I'm
Because
like,
that's all they care about.
right. But
You know
my
what I'm
point
saying?
being is it's like, okay, cool, but like that's a personal beef between the two of y'all that don't have anything to do with us.
But you have to understand that like two things can be true. Like, yes, we do live in a generation where everything is like overshared, overly publicized, whatever.
Mhm.
And also, the way that a lot of these people are able to get away with doing these horrible things to people is because they never get held accountable. The shit that they do never comes to light.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that we are treading a dangerous line when we let legality dictate whether or not that information should be shared. So I'm not necessarily saying whether or not that stuff, applied to the Jonah Hill situation, because I don't know all the details. I do know that, based on what I've learned, I feel like my man's got some issues that he needs to sort out like yesterday.
Right. But those are personal issues, though. They're like personal issues like that.
It's true, but unfortunately, again, like when you're a celebrity, like that's kind of like the draw is, shoot, like even look at people who like Megan Thee Stallion got shot and people were like dragging her for it.
That crap pissed
Because
me
like
off.
being a celebrity, unfortunately, that's what happens. You know what I mean? Like you are up for public criticism, public debate, being a subject of a podcast like this.
That's fair.
That is something that you give up. And I've had to, even with my minuscule, like compared to Beyonce, like I'm not there yet, but like even with my platform, I've had interactions where I've realized like, oh shit, like I kind of like there's a certain part of me that doesn't that I don't have to myself anymore, if that makes sense. And people assume like familiarity and will kind of like you know what I mean, like insist themselves on you simply because they follow you on social media.
Oh yeah,
So,
I can agree on that. I can 100% agree on that.
I think in this
Danny,
situation,
can you hear us?
I think in this situation, the part, and that's why I said, because we don't know the details, I want to get more so into some of the subject matter that's within those details. So like concerning why she posted this stuff online, I agree with you, Javon, that it is personal, and I don't know that she should have posted it. But at the same time, from her perspective, if what she's saying is true, that he was manipulative and emotionally abusive and things like that, then she might feel like that's her only recourse to one. She might, to me, like, I hated seeing the situation between Russell Simmons and his daughter. But if what she was saying about him was correct, if I was doing that to my daughter, I couldn't say much if she went online and was like, yo, I've been trying to be cool. I've been trying to be quiet. Very Master P and Rome and his son.
Yeah, or Dr. Dre, I think too. Like it's so many of them.
There's a lot of situations where like they were
Kirk Franklin and his son.
Yep.
Who?
Hey, Brian McKnight and his kids.
Yeah.
But can I say this though?
Brian McKnight has been for controversial for a while. Like he's come up, you know.
But even he had to literally come out and explain to people, hey, y'all don't know the and again, this is my issue. Once people start going, hey, you know, then it becomes this battle of like public opinion,
debate,
right? Right, because then like his kids came out, Brian McKnight, his kids came out and said something about him to basically get at him. And he's now got to come out and share even more personal information. So then we just get to this point where people are just spewing information that none of us needed to know about.
That's
a fact. Just to try, you know what I mean? It's like
that's a fact. But the other side of it is, if I have been suffering in silence, literally for years, trying to resolve this behind closed doors without putting you out there, without challenging your character, without going against your persona. I've been doing it for years, and you're still doing it. And I've tried every other course at that point.
Yeah, but it depends. What you trying to? Are we talking about like kids? Or are we talking about like adults? Because at a certain point,
it doesn't matter.
It's different.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's
I mean, it does, but
no,
it doesn't.
no,
It does matter.
Like
no, listen, if you're a kid, bet I'm right there with you. But if you're an adult, at a certain point, you got to realize that your parents are your parents, and they're human beings just like that.
Right.
And you just got to be like, I'm done with you, and then you got to move on.
And however,
that's my opinion. Again, that's my opinion.
And however, you can still like love your parents and accept it for what it is, but you still have to have boundaries and be like, yo, I'm not going to subjugate myself to a certain type of treatment simply because I'm your child. You know what I'm saying? Especially as an adult, it's like now I have the agency to not put up with this. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I didn't have a choice. But now I have and to Morgan's point, you know, I think a lot of times in these instances, the children or adult children, whatever, are trying to like talk to their parents through things and trying to resolve their issues and tell them like, hey, you know, like I got this thing sitting on me that I really need to talk to you about because I feel like I was let down in this way, or I feel like you're continuing a pattern that really affected me badly as a child. And your parent is just like, well, go to therapy or get over it. You know, like I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but there's also like,
then it's like you, and it's not, I'm not saying that it makes it right whether or not people publicize it or not, but I'm just saying as a human being, there comes a point where when you get frustrated that the source, like you're going to the source, trying to do the right thing, trying to like resolve the conflict as they've taught you how to do. And then it's like all the principles and all the things that you were raised on are now like being thrown in your face while they're like, do as I say, not as I do. You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, it's like you hold it, do you internalize it? You know what I mean? Because that's not good. Like, yeah, you know, like there's therapy. I don't know whether or not these folks are, I'm sure they may or may not be indulged. Who knows? They might still be doing it and still feel the need. Like, all right, I have, just because you're in therapy doesn't mean you're magically fixed. You still could have a break and have a moment of weakness, if you will, because you're actively putting up with it. Like you're in survival mode in that sense. So that's kind of like I think it kind of comes to a head at that point. And then the person who's actually at the root of the problem, like vilifies them. And it's like, oh, well, you shouldn't have put it online. Like, well, maybe you should have listened to your child. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I personally see this issue equally from both sides, because I definitely 100% would want, ideally, for them to handle that offline. It doesn't need to come to it doesn't need to become public consumption. It does not need to be publicly debated. But I also can absolutely positively see it from the other side of, I've been doing that. I've been being quiet. I've been letting you live. I've been not saying anything, and you keep effing with me. I don't know anything else that you do. Okay, I can excommunicate myself from, like, again, I'm not saying the accusations that Russell Simmons' daughters were saying are all true. I don't know, right? I'm only going by what she said when she was on the live.
Which is the problem.
But if she, all we're talking about is the scenarios based on this. Like, that's why I said in these situations, we do not have all the facts. It's not a court case, but we can talk about the subject matter that's within those situations.
Right, because art very much imitates life, and you better believe stuff is happening a lot in like a lot of Black families.
I'm interested in those conversations that can lead to growth, a different perspective, or whatever within these situations. You know what I'm saying? And like, it broke my heart to see her posting that, because as a father, God knows, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, having your daughter get online crying about anything is going to be rough to see. But if from Russ's perspective, if he's not doing that, it's even worse. But if he is doing it, it's still bad, because now that crap is a rough situation. But from her perspective, what she was saying on the live is, I've been doing this. I've been not saying anything. I've been gritting and bearing it. I've been just going along with things. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that anymore, whatever. And she's telling her side. Part of it is probably cathartic. You know what I'm saying? Like, should she need to do that with the public? No, I agree with you on that, Javon. I think this, like Chauna said earlier, y'all know how I am about nuance and the fact that two things could be true at the same time. And this is a situation where that is a fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want it to come online, but at the same time, if I'm in her shoes, I might do the exact same thing and be like, yo, you're not about to keep messing with me like this. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta do whatever I gotta do to make sure.
Yes, he did. Simmons has been he's been a center of controversy in that aspect for quite some time. Yeah,
because him and Kimura have been going back, and that was public too. You know what I'm saying? So
I wasn't really speaking from a specific about Simmons. I was just speaking from a general point, because I feel like I'm looking at things from a different perspective now. Like, I probably would be closer to your side of the view before I had kids, or became a part of children's lives, because I can see things that maybe like I've done that my daughters might look at and have a different perspective on, and be like, well, Javon was being mean, when really all I was doing was telling you to clean up your room, and you was giving me sass or something like that.
People like grow up to want to publicly scrutinize their parents over, like,
you'd be surprised, you'd be surprised at how, like, people will say, well, this person's being controlling, but the truth is, this person was trying to stop you from going out, like, when you were 15 years old, sneaking out the house, and you wasn't supposed to be doing that. Like, people have had a tendency, and not everybody, but people have been like, they skew the way they remember things in their minds, because they feel like a victim. And so you feel like a victim. So you feel like, well, my parents were hard on me, or my parents were really strict, when they just didn't want you going to the club at 16 years old.
Actually, like, from a
or you were 15 and they didn't want you dating
Well, no,
an
from that
18-year-old
standpoint,
boy.
it's usually not the victims who have a skewed memory of what happened. It's actually the perpetrators who normally have a skewed, because it's selective memory. Like they choose to remember certain things, because it doesn't benefit them to remember that they did this horrible thing, because then they have to reconcile with the fact that they did this horrible thing, and then they have to question whether or not that means that they're a bad person. You know what I'm saying? So that, whereas victims remember, like trauma forges itself.
Well, when I say
Like,
I don't mean that they are the victim. I mean they're playing the victim.
Hmm?
I don't necessarily mean they are the victim. I mean they have a victim mentality, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't know. And then also too, I mean, I think that there are instances where that happens, where you have kids who grow up to be entitled, and they, like, their parents have given them everything they could have possibly given them.
Absolutely.
And they still, like,
Absolutely.
are ungrateful, and they treat them like trash, and they do it. Like, I've seen it happen. You know what I mean? At the same time,
because they were saying that was about a Brian McKnight's kids, though.
At the same time, I think that a lot of times, like when people come forward about that, especially when it comes to like sexual misconduct type stuff, like there is so much risk and blowback in just saying anything to anybody.
That's
like speaking from experience, it's like there's so much risk in that. And for you to know that and to still come forward, and especially particularly with the Simmons daughters, like they have always been very precarious about their brands, like from the pasties, they had their own shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like they was doing everything. So I feel like for them to come forward and to like say this is like, yo, like they don't usually be, and they've rarely been centers for controversy. If anything, Angela's only been controversial because of the dudes she's dated are controversial. She like bad boys or whatever. But like they're not.
Which one is it? Which daughters came forth? It was Angela and them?
No,
I don't know.
It was Russell Simmons' daughter.
Yeah, because Rev is the other
Simmons,
one. Yeah. Angela Simmons.
Yeah.
These are Russell Simmons, Def Jam dude.
The two examples that I thought of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Oh, okay.
That would have been a whole.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad. My bad. I'm misconstrued. But even then, I think that like we've never heard of them saying anything. I don't know. I think that we don't. I do think that we don't know. I don't know all the
we heard his
details,
wife, though.
But I do know that it definitely does happen where you have Angela's red daughter. Okay. I do know that there are a lot of situations where you have like parents who are mistreating their kids or mistreating like members of their families, and then it gets swept under the rug for like years. You know what I mean? And then when the kids come of age and grow up and they become independent and they're no longer under the thumb of their parents. And in this case, it's like you're celebrities. So that makes things even more complicated because they can kind of like cut you off financially and do things like that. So I think that for them to like risk losing that, it does kind of, speak to like, well, maybe there is something there. And particularly with Simmons, I think that like with all the accusations, and it's not just like, this isn't a new thing, people have been saying that about him for years.
But I think on the opposite side of what you're talking about, and because again, this is another situation where again, to restate it, we don't know all the details. We're just talking about the subject matter within it. I think two examples where I think the media went one way, but then as more started to come out, it like on the side that Javon was talking about, where the parent actually was, after more information came out, the parent was in a space where they were parenting and their kid just didn't agree with how they were parenting.
It just clicked in my head. So the daughters are what's her name's Kamora Lee Simmons.
Kamora Lee.
Same sandwich, because they had a powerful brand and Kamora Lee Simmons had some choice words to say about him too.
It was in the same event that Kamora was speaking. She was speaking. So her daughter spoke out. Then that made Kamora speak out. Russ, to my knowledge, has not said anything, which I'm glad. I did not want. I'm praying that they are.
Well, legally, he probably can't.
Yeah, but I just hope that past all of that, I hope that Russ, as a father, saw that video of his daughter. Whether she was lying about it or not, I just hope he reached out to his daughter and tried to be like, "Hey, listen, baby, listen." You know what I'm saying? And try to have that conversation, because I hate when that happens. I hate when that stuff, like when it with Kurt Franklin, when his son came out and made it public. I hated that.
I mean, one thing.
I hated that, but that is totally different.
The biggest thing about Russ is like the one thing that we know for a fact is that he started dating Kamora Simmons when she was like a teenager. She was like 17, and they got married when she was like, I want to say like 21 or something like that. And he was significantly older than her.
He's got worse accusations than that. I'm not trying to bash him, but I mean, he
like basically groomed Kamora. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
his wife.
He wouldn't be the only one. He ain't the only one.
Right. But that's the thing. It's like it's so commonplace and it's so
they all need to go to jail.
And we just thank you, Danny.
You said they all need to go to jail.
It's so commonplace, and
But that's been again. I grew up with a lot of I had a lot of female friends that was dating dudes when they were 16, they were dating dudes that were like 18, 19.
Right.
And I used to look around like, yeah, okay.
That ain't
I knew a woman who was sleeping with
but still though, there were dudes that were in college though. I'm sorry.
No, I know a woman. Well, she wasn't a woman. She was a girl at the time. We were in high school, and we were like 16, and she was sleeping with the father of the kid she was babysitting. And he was like married or in a relationship or something. And he was like 30. You know what I mean? And like, was she willingly partaking in it? Yeah, but she's below the age of consent. There's a power dynamic there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, that's
don't finish.
It ain't just
like your human brain isn't fully developed till you're 25. Like, let's be real. So
some people later.
Devon's still working on his.
Some people have.
Right.
Hey, listen, man, it's a struggle.
Your
every
frontal
day.
lobe does not fully develop until you're 25.
I'm hoping 42 is the year. Really do.
You just hope
you're easier to manipulate if you're under 25.
42.
No shade to people under 25.
we can move on from it now.
Hey, listen, man.
But that the boundaries part of that conversation with Jonah was the part that interested me the most. What Danny,
I honestly didn't have any problem with it. I know it sounds crazy, but I ain't had no problem
that's
with
the part
it.
that interested me the most, though, because I think
hey, this is what he
because
wants.
I am
because you dated a surfer and you don't want her to hang around men and wear bathing.
It's not cool.
Like
when I say hold on,
you don't want them in the kitchen, like
Cece though. It's not that I don't. What he says is dumb considering the situation, but to me it was like, this is what I want. If you don't want to do this, you can bounce.
Like he's not going to go to jail.
Stupid. But no. I'm not talking about jail. I just, like I said, I didn't have a problem with it because I felt like he laid it out there. He communicated it very well, very succinctly. And it was like, do you want to do it? They clearly didn't and separated. So in my mind, I'm like, what's the problem here?
Yeah,
you got out of a relationship with somebody who was basically giving you an ultimatum.
Like y'all don't match.
And y'all didn't match, so you kept it moving. He kept it moving. Why are we talking about something that happened 2 years ago while this dude just got a new woman, new baby?
That's a fact.
Like, what are we doing here?
That's a fact.
I don't know.
Like, to me, it's vindictive. And I know I can understand, Cece, why you see it from your point of view, as in, like, some guy, people will keep doing things that, toxic things if nobody brings things to light. But if that's the case, everybody should be throwing all the toxic stuff in every relationship that they have on social media. And to me, that's dumb.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
But that's exactly what this dude did, though.
William.
But that's what she did. She had a bad relationship with him. It ended. They split on terms. Ain't nobody cared about this woman before not nobody cared, but she didn't have the notoriety that she has now before she put this out. So to me, either you chasing clout or you vindictive. One or the other.
I don't know. Just because we didn't know about it doesn't mean that she wasn't
famous. I mean, people know
Right.
who she
When I
was.
mean
could've been
that,
famous
I'm
for
not
her,
saying
like,
that she
famous
wasn't
in her
famous. I'm saying
community.
this elevated her profile. Clearly elevated her profile because not one of us or four of us knew who she was.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know if that's the type of press that somebody would want. Like, I don't know what her intentions were.
Right.
I don't know
Then
why
it's
she said. I don't know
vindictive.
why she brought it up now. Like, there have been instances where, you know, like folks have brought it up then because maybe I don't know if he said something or what, or if she just randomly decided that she wanted to bring it up. You know what I mean?
She said
But-
that for those who are still interested, you can Google the things that she said before she put up the test. My main point was
You can end on your point.
my main point was, again, getting into the conversations that are beneath that.
It's 9:15. Danny got
especially based on the boundaries conversation, because I think that is for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have always been a very I let you know what I'm thinking fairly early. You know what I'm saying? So that there's no, I don't like things getting misconstrued. So I'll say whatever it is or whatever. So I'm like what you said, Javon. Like when I read the text, I was like, I mean, it seems like effective communication in that regard. But I also can see it from her perspective. If what she's saying is true from her perspective, that he was emotionally abusive and all of this stuff, then I also understand why she posted it, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, same as, you know, Russell Simmons' daughter. But again, the number one, the common thread that irritates me about both of these situations is the insane levels of insecurity. It makes me itch. I don't know why people in 2023 in their adult lives are so willing to just out how insecure you are. That is not cool. It's not attractive. It's like, you got to seek therapy, bro. Like, you cannot. In Jonah's situation, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? But oh, buddy, Keke's guy, like, you wilding, bro.
I mean, he should seek therapy for the simple fact that he has a child. But I do think that there's like a huge issue with people feeling like just because they're in a relationship with somebody that it means that they can control that person. Like, you can not be okay with something that they do, and you can vocalize it, and then that person can make a decision on whether or not they want to keep doing it, and then you should make a decision based on that. You know what I mean?
Right. That's why I say it.
At the same time, I think particularly in both of these situations, like, both of these dudes knew what they were getting into when they got into it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that in every sense of the phrase. And then you turn around and try to vilify these women for literally being who they are. Like, I have such an issue with that, and it just screams control, and it screams hypocrisy. It screams like so many things, and it's just like kind of indicative. And it's like, these are the good guys, y'all. Like, these are the good ones. Okay. I mean, like, not obviously, but I'm just saying, like, these are the so-called nice guys, right? And by the way, Russell Simmons was 35 when Kimora Lee Simmons was 17 and they started dating. And his defense was that, she turned 18 right after, though, and her mother approved of it, and her manager. But anyway, like, you 35, bro. What are you doing?
My God.
Same thing R. Kelly said.
Chill.
I wish I had some tea right
now. We don't speak that name, dude.
Man.
We don't speak that name on
I
this
wish
show,
I had
man.
some tea right now.
Come on,
but
bro.
yeah, like, that's kind of the underlying thing, and it just makes me glad I'm single and that I have no children. But it also makes me like kind of sad and be like, what the fuck do I have to deal with when I'm out? Because I've encountered this, you know what I mean? And encountered people like either trying to ride your coattails while at the same time slandering you, Darius, you know, or
Jesus.
or
Jesus.
You know, they meet you and then they're like, oh my God, you're perfect. I love you now. Change.
We need that horn button.
Like, I'm telling you, I need that Jamaican horn.
You know, like, dudes be like, oh, you can't wear those shorts. Like, dude, these are the same shorts I was wearing when you like tried to holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he like, I know that's what
And now I
what the other
can't wear
dude
them
holler.
ever again. Oh, all right.
Absolutely not.
Or this is the
Oh,
dress I wore on our first date. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like, hey, listen.
I can again.
That's for my
I can see-
eyeballs, okay?
No, I can understand changing. If you change a relationship status, I can understand the assumption is, hey, when we were single, we did single people things, and now that we're
Right.
together,
That's a good
we
point.
do together things.
right,
Not you can't have a life outside of me, of course. That's ridiculous.
Right.
But
right.
if we're together, we do together people things. We act like we're in a relationship.
Well, that,
Right.
that's
I don't think
but-
your attire dictates whether or not you're acting like you're in a relationship.
I agree. I
You
agree
know
with
what I
you.
mean?
I agree with you.
Acting like you're in a relationship is somebody tries to holler
I
at you
disagree on
and
that.
you're
I
like,
disagree
I'm
on
in a
that.
relationship. I can't
I
talk to
disagree
you.
on that.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
you're
that's-
probably, hey,
that's-
just FYI, I have a partner at home, but we're okay with adding other. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all get down with. Like that's my whole.
I don't know. I feel like behavior change. Like I agree with Danny here. Like, and I'll say this is where the marriage weight comes in. This is where I agree when you get married. Like there are certain there are certain things that you could do before that you can't do before.
Mhm.
Now, like because you do represent like a unit. Like you just the same way. Like when Danny goes out, Danny represents his wife.
Right.
So Danny can't just behave and wear and do whatever he want to do because he's representing her, and then and vice versa.
Right.
And so like I can understand like, okay, yeah, I might have wore this, back in the day, or I might have wore this when I was single, but I ain't gonna rock with this
But
now.
even if she does, I'm not blasting her on the internet.
But even if she does, but I'm saying like this is not you telling her not to wear this. This is her understanding that I'm not going to do this because of this.
I mean,
so I'm not talking about it from a control point of
Right.
view. I'm talking about it from Danny wants to do his list.
What's
So
your
come on, let's
list?
do the list.
Y'all ready for the list?
Come on, go ahead, man. Go do your list, bro. Do your list.
Y'all know
bro.
I got 9 minutes before I'm going to bed.
Shut up.
Y'all know
Anyway,
I gotta be to work at 5:30.
The whole thing about can't control people when you're married. Well,
I'm not.
Go ahead, Danny.
This is proper communication though. If I say, yo, babe, I got the show that I'm doing every week, but I'm gonna be off by 9:30. I should be off by 9:30. That's proper communication.
Danny, make your list. Do your list.
Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none
Do
of
your
you
list, man.
Number 5.
Can you say it, please? This backwards. You know
Number
that, right?
5, Peaches by Bowser.
I knew it was gonna be Peaches.
Number 4.
The reason why he's on the show.
Number 4. It's hard out here for a pimp.
Yes, that was on my list as well.
Okay.
That's
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Stand Out. Above the crowd, even if I got to shout out loud.
What movie
What is that?
From a Goofy movie.
Goofy movie, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
From a Goofy movie.
All right. He got 2 cartoons.
Number
that was coming, man.
Number 2, Run to You by on the Bodyguard soundtrack. Whitney Houston. And
Was it performed in the movie?
He was watching her sing it on the music video. So yes, she did perform it on the movie. And number 1 is Purple Rain.
Did he perform that in the movie? I don't think he did.
He didn't?
I don't think he did. Did he? I don't remember him performing that.
It was played during a montage.
That's not the same thing?
No. He has to perform it.
He has to perform it.
Yeah, he got to perform it in the movie.
I don't think
he performed Purple Rain in the movie.
He didn't. I think like it was playing while he was doing a montage. While there was a montage.
Yeah, it played in the movie, but he didn't perform it.
Because if that's the case, we're about to have a whole different list.
Oh, somebody say yes, he did at the end of the movie.
He did at the end of the movie.
Thank you.
Okay, Danny.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the cut. Hey, for once,
he performed y'all actually. Somebody else said it. You got 2.
Y'all actually look out for me one time. Thank you.
That's a big one. That's a big one. I missed that one.
Yeah, he did. Sure enough.
There we go. And,
Wow.
and I shouldn't tell nobody this because I actually haven't seen Purple Rain, so I don't know. But I appreciate the chat for helping me out.
Wow.
No. Time out. This is the same dude.
I looked it up.
Morgan, I got your back. Morgan, I got your back. No. Morgan, I got your back. This is the same dude that get at Morgan every single
Even though I don't even
about don't put nothing on your list that you ain't seen.
I didn't say that. That's not my rule.
That
Yeah, it is. What are you talking about?
Y'all
Y'all been getting at me for.
Y'all want to go ahead and go?
you about to lie like that?
Y'all want to go ahead and go?
You about to you want to lie
Y'all go
like
ahead
that,
and go?
Danny? For
Bro,
real?
you're racist, yo.
Y'all want to go ahead and go before I gotta go? So now,
Danny, you really about to lie
I'm
like
going,
that?
bro.
Like we can't look back
I'm going,
at video.
bro, because you're a terrible
You's
human
a
being, bro. That's
liar.
crazy. I
Don't
can't
be
even
mad
believe
because
you
y'all
did
didn't
that.
think of it.
No, I don't mind. I didn't think about
I
it,
can't
but
believe.
dog.
All right, number 5. Good grief, bro! I can't believe you just pulled that bull crap. Number 5, Mario movie Peaches. That joint got to be in your top 5 to be. It's too huge of a song. It's awesome in every way. Even though it's like literally like a joke almost, but it's still hilarious. They literally had an orchestra play to him singing that song. It was freaking fantastic. Number 4, 5 Heartbeats, House of Love.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll type it in afterwards. Number 3, Hustle and Flow. Whoop that trick. When I tell you I was going back and forth.
Put that one over hard out here.
For me, yes. They played Whoop That Trick in Memphis during the Grizzlies games.
Yeah,
bro.
I had that on.
I believe it.
They did.
Every time matter of fact, but the part that had me even more stuck is when they did the verses. They did a verses with I think it was 3 6 Mafia in them, and Terrence Howard came out to perform.
Oh yeah,
I was like, bruh. But for me personally, when I was in the theater and they started mixing that joint and that joint said, boy, I was like, hey, that joint had me hyping there, so that had to be my number 3. Number 2, A Star Is Born, The Shallows. I freaking love that. I was going to see that movie for that song alone.
Dang, I thought I had the whitest song.
Yo, I was going to see that movie for that, to hear her perform that song alone.
I still ain't seen that.
God, bro. Anyway, and number 1 for me, Diver Mad Black Woman. Father, can you hear me? That's my number 1.
Okay.
That joint made me cry immediately every time I hear it.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
What? And you trying to revoke my black card?
Yeah, there are a lot of black people that
That's
don't
a
watch
good
Tyler
one.
Perry.
That was the first one.
No, it's not. No, that's not.
That is not the first
He
one.
blew up.
That was a good one.
No, was it the first movie?
The first Tyler Perry movie that blew up was
not the one with Taraji.
That was
Diver Mad. No, Diver Mad Black Woman was before that.
That's the. Is that the one with the dude in the wheelchair?
Yes.
Oh,
okay. So I did see that.
Okay,
Yeah, that was terrible.
No, that was. I Can Be Bad by Myself.
No, that was
No,
Diver Mad Black
Taraji was
Woman.
I Can Be Bad all by myself.
Yeah.
I just see. I know the poster. From
Yeah.
My bad.
So that's my list. I'm trying to type it out.
I didn't. So I never saw that movie. I just saw the end part where she abused the hell out of it. That's all I saw. That's the only part I saw. But she beat the hell out of it.
I ain't gonna hold you. He earned that crap.
All right, go ahead, Cece. Hey, let's do it. What's up?
What's good?
Straight out of Bible study.
How y'all doing? What's going on?
That's all right. We got time for you.
I'm going out. I'm going out, and you coming in.
All right, Cece, you want to go?
Sure. Okay. So I was trying to get them in order.
I hear gospel music.
We'll go with number 5, Austin Powers. Daddy Wasn't There.
Okay.
I like it. Good.
That's a classic.
Okay. I didn't even think about that one.
Number 4, Teen Titans, Cyborg and CeeLo, The Night Begins to Shine.
Oh my God, that's good, yo.
Wow.
Oh man, that is one of my.
I ain't even thinking about that one
good,
either.
yo. Oh my God. Yo.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, I ate it. I know.
Oh, that's
Wow.
so good, yo. That is one of my
Okay.
favorites.
She came with fire
Oh,
today. Okay.
you already know.
I'm nervous.
My 2 and 3 aligned with. I'm sorry. Yes, 2 and 3 aligned with yours, I believe, Morgan. Whoop That Trick and Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
Okay.
And then my number 1 is Church by Big Boy from the Idlewild movie. He performed it live on stage with, I believe it was Mason Cray.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Forgot about Idlewild.
Oh, that's so
Man, I tried to make it through Idlewild. I really did. I tried really hard.
Idlewild is good, even though I hate the ending, but
Fee, are you ready?
Shauna,
or you want me to go?
Can you type
All right,
yours
I'm
in
gonna
the
go.
private chat so I can put it in here?
All right, you got a minute.
Okay.
You got a minute to get your list together. All right. I was gonna play mine.
Yo,
but
Shauna.
nobody
Oh
did,
my
so I'm not gonna do it.
God,
That's
so
good.
All right. Y'all ready?
good
As
pick,
ready as
man.
I'm gonna be, man.
Thank you,
Oh my
thank
God.
you.
Let's do it. Number
I love
5,
that freaking song.
Eye to Eye by Power.
Oh, come on.
What is it?
Eye to
Come
Eye.
on.
Number 4, A House Is Not a Home by the 5 Heartbeats. I'm surprised nobody had this. Number 3, I Care for You, Milestone, Soul Food.
Okay.
They performed it in the song. They performed it twice.
Okay.
All right.
I don't even remember Soul Food.
Wait,
Outside
can
of
we go
Cousin
back a
Faith.
second? Can we go
What?
back to a house is not a home? Isn't that Dionne
Yeah.
Warwick song?
Oh no, A Heart Is a House for Love. Sorry. A heart is a
Oh,
house for love.
from the Hot 5 Heartbeats?
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. My bad. And then number 2, this is the whitest song ever. But y'all probably ain't never seen this
Scotty
movie.
doesn't know.
If you did, God, I don't know. That Thing You Do by The Wonders.
What movie? What movie is that from?
The movie is called That Thing You Do.
Oh yeah.
Like,
No.
you're right. I ain't seen it.
I
You're right.
never know.
I told you it's the
I'll never
whitest
know.
song. I love that. I love
Never
that
seen
movie. And then number 1, it won an Oscar. A Heart Out Here for a Pimp.
Yes,
It
it
I had
did
to
win an
go. It
Oscar.
won an Oscar.
It
yo.
It
did.
is.
Like when you win an Oscar for a fake
It's
song that Terrence Howard
That's the
did.
one.
That song is fire, bro. Like y'all don't understand how hard it was. I was listening to the joints all day yesterday and today. Like, bro, I have to pick one. But for me,
Taraji's reaction to hearing her own voice
oh yeah,
in there,
absolutely.
I was like, oh, she made me feel that.
I wanted to put the other 5 Heartbeat song.
Javon, you got to
just
type yours in so I can post it.
Yeah, you know the one Just In Case. Remember when Flash was singing to the girl, and then the brother came in, and he was drunk. They were out singing each other. I love that song.
Man, listen, I was when I did my list, I was gonna lead it by saying Eddie Kane, but I felt like I didn't feel like I should be that ratchet.
Wow.
Let me see. Oh,
right. Can you do it?
I think I can. I'm gonna do my best.
All right, let's do it.
Do my best.
All right.
I'm gonna start with number 5. I want to say Phil Collins' "Strangers Like Me," but honestly, that whole album of Tarzan,
yes,
Phil Collins,
absolutely.
You know, you really got me with Powerline, man. I was like, Tevin Campbell needed to give us a whole album, because Eye to Eye just was the great.
That boy can sing.
Epilude to just the album that should have existed, and it still hurts me to this day. So I'm gonna say that's number 4 because I do love that. Okay. I saw Peaches, and that song slaps. And
yes, sir.
I love Jack Black.
Peaches.
I love the piano where it says like Ludwig, and it's like Koopa Wood. It's something like German, like it plays on the piano name, but that's my 3rd. 2 is going to be I just had it. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Oh my god. A fake movie song. Come on, please come back.
You good?
What's the movie?
The amnesia's really hitting today. I don't know what it is. I'm nowhere near vigilance, and I don't know why she is following me with this. I just had it. No, it was what's that movie? Did I write it down?
What is it? A TV show or a movie?
I'm going more off of Disney, so it was like there's certain ones, and there was one. It was really good. And it's a fake song.
I'm
An animated film.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my number one. So I'm blanking on my two.
Okay,
but I know
well,
my
write
number
down
one.
your number one.
My number one is. Thank you.
Go ahead, give us the number one.
Number one is Hercules: A Star Is Born.
Okay.
Because
Man,
you know,
the muses.
yes,
The muses would have counted.
They do count.
They do. They performed.
They were
Dang, I
performing.
didn't even think about the muses.
yeah.
I totally
And
forgot.
number
Get down to business.
Yep, they had the little movements.
I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked. Danny got Purple Rain, and none of us got.
Bro,
Purple
I
Rain.
didn't even think
off
about
a
it.
guess.
Danny gonna win. Danny gonna win this. Danny gonna win this week,
Between
man. Just off Purple
between
Rain.
that
Yep.
and Shauna having nights begin to shine, bro. Oh my god, that crap hit my heart and soul.
That's
at
a
the
good
same
one.
time.
I would
I
probably
love
even
that
try
song.
whoop that trick with eye to eye, really, or even. All right, bye.
Peace out, cuz.
So glad I caught you.
I'm
No,
trying to get these freaking.
There was another. Wasn't there another Powerline song in Goof Troop?
I mean, it was a whole.
What's that? It's not a movie. Wait.
Javon, what is this eye to eye one? Because it cut off.
Oh, by Powerline.
Yeah.
That's it.
My two is gonna be I'm a Goofy Goober by SpongeBob. It's a fake movie song, but they made they did a rendition off of it, so technically it does still count like it's a fake movie song.
But what
I'm gonna say that's my
movie
number
is that from, Javon?
What? Powerline? Goofy.
A Goofy movie came out in '96, or was it?
I could have put.
All right, they mad.
Y'all
had
ever
the
heard Scotty
VHS.
Doesn't Know?
That's real.
Scotty Doesn't Know.
Yes, that was my jam.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
And Scotty was in the audience. That was Euro trip.
Yes.
That
Euro
movie
trip.
is so wild. When they went to Eastern Europe, they threw a diamond.
They could never make that movie down.
Like, I quit. I was like, yo, why are they going in on?
Woo!
I could have put.
I appreciate y'all patience with me with that. My brain was in a whole nother world, and I had to like switch gears.
Okay.
You are good.
Wedding Singer had two fire
They
songs.
did.
They had "Grow Old with You,"
Yes.
the one he sang at the end.
Yes.
To Drew Barrymore, and then "Somebody Kill Me, Please."
No.
Kid, that was great.
No,
What's the other one?
Step Brothers, Boats and Hoes.
Oh, Boats and Hoes. Yes,
Catalina Wine Mixer. Whatever song they sang at the
Boats and
Catalina Wine
Hoes.
Mixer was like the jam.
Yeah, I never heard that song, Morgan.
Though. But I know Boats and
Morgan, you
Hoes
don't
is
know?
original, and they did a video for it.
I have no idea.
And they crashed the boat.
I got one.
You
for
never
you.
seen?
I got one for you. Inside of You.
Oh,
From Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Inside of
Elder
You.
Snow.
Bro, y'all talk about stuff.
Get
I
Him to
have
the
no
Greek
idea.
is such a. This is me.
You never heard that
You
song
have
before?
to see Get Him to the Greek. This is me eating my own head.
I have seen it. I've seen
That
it.
movie
I've
is
seen that
good.
one. That was a long
That's
time
mad
ago. I can
movies.
barely
Y'all just said
remember.
mad movies. I have no idea.
Did
what
he?
y'all talking
You will
about.
see-
You've never seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall, dude.
No.
Yo, Forgetting Sarah Marshall is the jam.
Bruh,
Yeah.
come on.
What?
I already know there's a
I'd
lot
be
I
worried.
need to catch up on, but certain ones.
You've never
it's hit
seen
or
The
miss.
Wedding Singer?
Hmm?
Have you seen The Wedding Singer?
Me?
The wedding.
Yes.
Probably in passing, but I don't know it like at all.
I forgot. Morgan has a cutoff date. If a film has a tracking at any point in the
There you go.
film,
It be
You're
like
right.
that sometimes, you know.
You're right.
Like I can't be
So
mad at you because
basically,
I kind
if
of
the
like
film
that,
came out,
you know.
pre-2000.
Hey, listen, I
Morgan
still don't
care.
watch the old Star Wars movies for that exact reason. I'm like, bro, I can't do it.
If the movie came out before 2000, Morgan don't
No.
care.
No, the 5 Heartbeats.
That's because it's black. That's the only reason
Wow.
you care, because it's a black movie.
I mean, that's a
so
good
racist.
reason.
You are
That's
racist.
a good reason.
Wow.
That's not racist.
you are racist.
I'm trying to think of Purple Rain. I seen Purple Rain.
I still can't believe that, dude. I
What?
can't. That he figured he did Purple Rain. That's such an undanny move.
Because he guessed it. He said he just guessed it.
You're right. He Googled it.
Well,
No, he said he didn't. Well, I don't know if he said. I think he just because it's the title of the movie. You know what I mean? So
I legit did not remember. I didn't even think about Purple
totally
Rain.
forgot. He didn't.
I did not even think about
totally
that movie, bro. If I'd have thought about it, that definitely would have been my number one. But I
Oh no, it would have been my.
I
number
didn't think
one.
about it. I mean,
What was the other one? There was a bunch of movies. In there, in The Last Dragon, and what's her? She sings that song. Is it Vanity? Right?
Oh,
is Vanity in The Last
Prince?
Dragon?
Oh, Prince Vanity.
Yeah,
his girlfriend?
with Bruce Leroy.
I don't know. Danny would know because that's like his favorite movie.
Is it Vanity?
I don't remember.
I can't. Well, whatever. She sings it. She has a song in there too. I kind of like.
I could not.
Is
I couldn't think of many songs. Like the only other song that I could think of
Yes,
off the top of my head from a movie that I loved when I heard it in the movie. The movie wasn't that great, but The Fighting Temptations. Feels like always. What's the name of it?
Which one?
He still loves me. He still loves me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
not.
I love that.
I thought that was a real song.
I thought it was too.
I don't think so.
I guess you're right. No, because it's just been a long time since I've
I've never heard it. I've never heard it before. Oh, if we had look, let me tell you something. If that stipulation wasn't on, my number one song might have been from Color Purple. When Suge starts singing "God is trying to tell you something," nigga, yo, I can't watch that scene without crying. Ever.
I got a song. I got a
Lay it
song.
on us.
And it counts.
Lay it on us.
No, it don't. I could tell by the smile.
Joyful.
I asked. No, don't do that.
Hold on. From Sister Act 2.
I asked you that.
No, you didn't.
It's all
because this is a totally different song, though.
Bro, I asked.
No, that's the actual song.
No, me and Danny talked about it. Me and Danny talked about it before I called you. That's what it is.
Yeah, you didn't talk to me about it,
bro. See, that's
because I would have put that because that's a whole different song.
The only reason that yeah, but it's still joyful.
But it's it's an original song. They got whole sequences.
They added stuff to
it's a brand new song, brand new arrangement.
It's a remix.
Yeah, but this is an original like they got a rap in it.
I know,
there's no rapping,
man. If that y'all about to make another list.
In the chorus, the mighty
y'all know how much I love Lauryn Hill, so that definitely would have been. I've literally watched this track just for that song.
Yeah, right.
I'm not even joking.
It is though. That's
the only reason I watched Sister Act 2, bro, so I can see Lauryn kill that.
No, it's Morgan. We right there, bro.
What?
We right there. Absolutely. It's the only reason I watch Sister Act 2. Actually, no. The Oh Happy Day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is really good. And they got one more performance on there, don't they?
They got a bunch. They got at least 4.
When they're singing, I love listening to the girl who's just like singing with. Is it Lauryn Hill? Her and Lauryn Hill are singing. With just a piano. What song are they singing?
About.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, His Eyes on the Sparrow. Yeah, I watch it for the music, and then I just fast forward.
I watch it for Lauryn Hill, literally, and then when they do the big performance. Same thing with Fighting Temptations. Like I watched Fighting Temptations because Beyonce, but
I don't.
But then
it was good.
I haven't seen it. Last time I didn't catch up on
Fighting Temptations. It I won't say it's a great movie. It's not. But
I like the music though because Faith Evans is like, come on, like I was. Oh, that was one. Heaven knows. Well, yeah, Heaven knows.
Is that in the same movie?
Yes, that was right in the beginning. It gives the memory of her before she passes away, or like she's passed, but it tells you about her. Because I like Faith Evans, and I remember like listening to that a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I've seen her perform live. She's good.
Man.
Is that Whitney Houston's song "I Believe in You and Me"?
Yes, on the Preacher's Wife.
Is that an original song?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I believe in miracles.
I don't know if it's
Are you talking about Prince of Egypt with Mariah Carey?
No.
That's a good one. When You Believe.
When You Believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo,
yeah, but they didn't perform that in the music.
Jam.
I'm thinking about the one when she's what's the gospel? What's the?
No, I know which one you're talking about.
The Preacher's
Wife. I know
Wife.
which one you're talking about. But I think it's an original song. I know the soundtrack.
Now I gotta
really
look it up.
well.
Yeah.
That and Wait to Exhale. but nobody performed in that, so it doesn't count.
Wait, did anybody perform Awake to Exhale?
Shoot, they should have.
No, nobody did.
Nobody performed Awake to Exhale. Best soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks of all time. Nobody.
Absolutely.
That is the best soundtrack of all time.
I think anybody was
the best.
Same with Black Panther.
Okay, it's a cover.
The first Black Panther soundtrack, definitely.
Okay, sorry, that was loud, but oh my gosh.
No, I gotta go Waiting to Exhale, man. Every song is a banger.
I mean, Babyface produced
single one. That boy Babyface put his entire
Babyface don't miss
with his body and now
like So it amazes me to this day that this song that is lauded and loved by women, this album is loved by women. This man somehow was able to get in the mindset to touch all these women and literally
because they had that joint on repeat. Like I literally know that album by heart because my parents had it on repeat. My mom had it on repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like
I stole that album from my mama. I was like, "Hey, mom, let me borrow."
I learned so many R. Kelly songs against my will because back then, you know, she was a fan. So it was like, oh my god, I learned so many.
They had Sitting Up in My Room, Shoop.
Sitting Up in My Room. That was the jam. That was like, first of all, it was just a solid R&B album across generations.
Across the board. Yep.
It had Brandy, you know what I'm saying? It had the young and up and coming, like back then. So you had Brandy, the young hip, and then you had the veterans like Whitney Houston, you know what I'm saying? You had Mary J. Blige in that joint, like every single like legend.
CeCe Winans.
CeCe Winans.
Yes.
It's
like
an
every
great album.
Straight soul vocalist.
SWV.
Mm-hmm. Like
that's a fake. Dude, you just got me one. SWV, Who's That Man from The Mask. I used to love that song, and I remember I used to look for that, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's like all the greats.
It's like the credits. It's like the credits.
There's an SWV song that I don't know exists.
No, don't you want to know? Don't you want to know? Who's that man? Yeah, and it's at the end of the credits.
And now I'm looking.
And it's The Mask. And I love that song. And I used to look for it. I was like, where is it? And it's not a real song.
I didn't know that was SWV. Get out of here.
Y'all
wait.
That, man.
It might be.
No, that's Escape.
I was about to say, hold on a second.
Okay, Escape. Okay.
Because I'm an SWV.
I was like, hold on, my bad. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, I know
Escape,
every
my
song.
bad. It's Escape.
I like Escape too, though. They got roasted when they was up against SWV.
But I like that song. My bad.
Y'all, I got it. Okay. But this has been really, really fun. Fee, I'm glad that I've met you.
I'm glad I got to see you.
Oh, was this the first time you met? Oh, I'm sorry. CC.
Yeah.
CC.
CC.
Y'all names wrong.
I want to make sure that I thank Chauna for coming through. Thank you, Fee, for coming through. I think there for that conversation, there's still meat on that bone.
Oh no,
you know what I mean? So
it's gonna unfortunately continue to come up for all the topics that you know.
Unfortunately, yeah. So I'm sure we can get back to it. But I mean, y'all already know. Both of y'all know y'all got to stand an invitation at all times.
Oh,
so I mean, you know, if you want to come back through for whatever reason, you know, what I mean, you know, you got it. So,
CC, are you going to Baltimore? Comic-Con?
Probably, if as long as I'm not out of town that weekend or working.
I'm gonna see you there.
Otherwise,
I'll see you there. I'll see you there.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, are you doing the Urban Nerd Con?
Yeah, you know, I'm guesting there.
Oh, that's right. You are. I'm not gonna be there though.
Tablecloth to the dry cleaners.
I'll see you there. Well, okay.
I was trying to make it.
I'll see you there.
You know.
Oh yeah.
It's just too far.
Good. Okay, look, I look forward to it.
It's just too far for a brother.
I know. I'm going there in DreamCon.
Yep, I'll see you there too.
Yay!
Oh,
okay. That's what's up.
I'm trying to get down there for Urban Nerd Con. I just gotta.
Hopefully, I meet Fee at FSK Con. I'm trying to make it.
I know. I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm down.
But
yeah, you gotta come. Did you go to Blurred Con?
I did not.
A couple years back, but
I did not. I actually was at another event for a friend of mine. She runs an event called the Black Girls, nonprofit organization is called the Black Girls Tribe. The name of the event is called Formation, the Formation Conference, which is a conference they have every year, and they basically fly, bus train girl, 12 to 18-year-old girls from all over the country, and they have a wonderful weekend doing leadership development. So I led a workshop. It was like cosplay adjacent, if you will. Basically, we did arts and crafts. And then I also was on the panel, the opening plenary called Renaissance Women. So
I love
it was
that.
really dope. I had a really great weekend. Yeah, thank you. And it was at Howard. She hosts the event at Howard. So that was really dope.
That is dope.
Thank
Y'all making me want to buy a
I'm not
ticket
gonna get
to
into the
Urban
real
Nerd.
HU debate. I don't want no smoke.
Oh Lord.
I'm not getting into it. You know what I'm saying? I went to A&T. I have no dog in that
Oh
race.
yeah. You have no stake in that.
I have no dog in that race.
I went to SCAD.
You went where?
SCAD.
Oh, SCAD. Okay.
Savannah College of Art and Design.
No, I was SCAD.
Very few black people.
Mm-hmm.
Might be more now.
Perhaps.
I'm not bringing it up.
Let's not get our hopes up.
I know what's up. You had Savannah State not too far, I guess.
I've been there. I was there a couple times. That's where I saw my first step show.
Nice.
And I didn't get it.
We go see Javon in that Freak Dick documentary.
And on that note, right.
I tell you, I was at one of the Freak Nicks. I was at one because my college tour was good. My college tour was at Atlanta. Was at Spelman and Morehouse that same weekend. My college tour rolled through, and I told this story before, but I tell it again. We were at Morehouse, and it was like a gate, and this black dude with a trench coat on. Like there was a whole bunch of stuff going on outside the gate. This dude came by and flashed us, and I was like, I don't need to be here. I was like, I'm ready to go. Freak Nick is not for me. How about?
Yeah, I'm slightly too young for Freak Nick. Just like I remember my older cousins and them were like used to go to H2O. That was like the premier nightclub here in DC on the waterfront, H2O in Zanzibar. And I used to be so excited about like going to H2O because I would hear so many dope things about it. And like by the time I came of age, it was like basically on its way out. You know what I'm saying? I missed the prime time. I was so blown. So I feel like it's the same with Freak Nick. But I am old enough to remember the glory days of Atlanta Greek Picnic. So as long as they don't make a documentary about Atlanta Greek Picnic, I'm safe.
we gonna see how well that Freak Nick documentary do. If it do numbers, you might be.
You're right. We're usually next, right?
I'm Gucci. I think I'm Gucci. Unless they come to Jiho, I'm good.
Oh yeah, like once they start doing the homecomings, the HBCU
buddy. Hey, they come to Jiho. I don't know now. I just got to pray to God nobody have like footage from, man.
Like homecoming is different because that's like my aunt who I love and I think very highly of is a magnificent woman who went to Bowie and is also my chapter soror. Does not hesitate to pass me cups, filled with non-disclosed beverages in them throughout my time there. And I'm like, and I'm not even like trying, like she be the one trying to get me lit. And I'm like, what?
Listen,
that's homecoming. It's just that's the rules.
Morgan, you got to fix it. You got the same song twice on your list.
Oh yeah, hold on, I see it.
And that's the best.
All right.
God dang it. All right.
I gotta go too. I'm sorry.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna be at Springfield Comic-Con, Springfield, Mass this weekend. Come see me. Come check me out. Heat Wave. Oh yeah, Heat Wave 2023 is rolling. I got 2 more stops this month, 3 next month, 2 in September, 2 in October. So we gonna keep hustling.
Nice.
So we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all ladies again for coming through. Thank you so much. Definitely looking forward to the next conversation because again, there's still meat on that bone. If he didn't get to get in on that part of it.
Hey, we might have to do something big next week. Is 100. So we got. Hey, listen, if you was on the show before,
next week is 100.
Come on through.
Yeah, it's our 100th episode next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we'll see. We got to figure out what we're gonna do for the list. We got to figure out.
I wish I had a tour.
We got to figure out what we're gonna do for the list, and again, Standing invitation.
We got. You know what? We really should do top 5.
I was about to
moments.
say, do top 5.
We really got
Top
top 5
5.
moments.
Man, listen,
Because I know what number.
There's only one number one, so
there's a one. But two and 3 could go.
We'll talk about it.
You know what? I'm down. If y'all want to do it,
we'll talk about it. The next week might be top 5. We'll let them vote on it too. But we appreciate y'all. We know everybody got to go.
And each guest that comes on, they could talk about like some moments or top 5 moments that they've
had.
That'd be a fun thing to like talk about and debate.
If y'all want to come on next week, if you've been on the show, holla at us. We'll get you on.
Hopefully, I get to come on sooner.
Do come through.
Absolutely.
We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much, Queens. We'll see y'all next week.
And I see you this weekend, Fee.
I'll see you like 2 weeks.
Next weekend. I'm sorry. I'm going to Atlanta. I'll be in Atlanta on Sunday for another conference.
I know.
Right. Okay.
I'll see you then and be safe.
All right, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.